TNW News. ISIS claims 2 deadly explosions at Egyptian Coptic churches on Palm Sunday. Islamic State suicide bombers attacked 2 Coptic churches in Egypt on Palm Sunday, killing at least 40 worshippers and police officers stationed outside in the single deadliest day of violence against Christians in the country in decades. The militants claim responsibility for both attacks in a statement via its Aamaq news agency, having recently signaled its intention to escalate a campaign of violence against Egyptian Christians. The first explosion occurred about 9:30 at St. George's Church in the Nile Delta city of Tanta, 50 miles north of Cairo, during a Palm Sunday Mass. Security officials and a witness said that a suicide bomber had barged past security measures and detonated his explosives in the front pews, near the altar. At least 27 people were killed and 71 others injured, officials said. Hours later, a second explosion occurred at the gates of St. Mark's Cathedral in the coastal city of Alexandria. That blast killed 13 people and wounded 21 more, the health ministry said. The Patriarch of the Egyptian Coptic Church, Pope Tawadros II, who is to meet with Pope Francis on his visit to Egypt on April 28 and 29, was in the church at the time but was not injured, the Interior Ministry said. Kamal Sadiq Cyrus, a Coptic church official in Alexandria, said a police officer at the church gates had intercepted a suicide bomber, who blew himself up before he could reach the church. 2 police officers and a neighborhood police chief, Adel El-Rakobi, were among the dead. The bombings, at the start of the Holy Week leading to Easter, renewed questions about the ability of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to protect minority Christians, who make up about 10% of Egypt's 90 million people. As forensic teams combed through the blood-stained wreckage of the church in Tanta, witnesses told of how a suicide bomber managed to slip through a side door where security officials had been checking congregants with a metal detector as they entered. Several deacons, lay Christians who help with the service, were among the dead. Rimun Ahmad said the church had been on alert since the authorities discovered an explosive device near the church last week and defused it. Soil Williams said that her uncle, Nethot Moussa, a retired army officer, had been late to Sunday service and went to the front pews, where the explosion went off. "We can't find his body, just a bloodied identity card," she said. Egyptian security officials found and defused several other explosive devices at other locations, including at a prominent Sufi Muslim shrine. 1 bomb had been planted at the College St. Mark, an all-boys school in downtown Alexandria. 2 others were found at the City Abdel Rahim Mosque in Tanta, home to one of the most famous Sufi shrines in the city. The authorities also found 2 suspected bombs at a local market in the coastal city of Marsa Matruh, according to state media. The violence on Sunday comes weeks before the visit to Egypt by Francis, in what has been billed as the latest stage of his long-running effort to forge stronger ties with Muslim leaders. But the pontiff will find himself arriving a country where the government is struggling to protect Christians and where the Islamic State, known as ISIS or ISIL, is intent on driving a wedge between the 2 communities. In December, an Islamic State suicide bomber killed 28 people in an attack on a chapel in the grounds of St. Mark's Coptic Cathedral in Cairo. In February, hundreds of Christians fled their homes in North Sinai following a concerted campaign of assassination and intimidation in the area. After attack in December, the ISIS said it was escalating a campaign of sectarian bloodshed in Egypt, much as it has been doing for many years in Syria and Iraq. The terror group claimed responsibility for the deadly blasts on Sunday through the Aamaq news agency, which acts as its news wire. It said that a security detachment had targeted the churches in Tanta and Alexandria,